Attention carriers, brokers, and dispatchers. You're tuned into the E-Carrier Check channel, where we bring you the insider tips, tricks, and insights to drive your sales and logistics business to new heights. Each week, your hosts, Jared and Nate, sit down with the top professionals in the industry, diving deep into everything from prospecting and cold calling to maintaining carrier relationships and maximizing your bottom line. Learn real-world strategies, hear success stories, and get actionable advice you can implement in your business today. So buckle up and get ready for an entertaining and informative ride. This is the E-Carrier Check channel, your source for can't-miss logistics intelligence. Stay tuned.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the E-Carrier Check Show. Excited to be here. Honestly, in between the holidays here, we're just kind of floating through the week. You know what I mean? I was off for 5 straight days, Nate. I feel refreshed. I ate too much. I had a wonderful Christmas.
But it was well-needed time off.
It was just wonderful. I loved every second of it.
It was a tough year, so I'm glad that for those of you that were able to take some time off and relax, I hope you were able to relax. So, and I know you were, because you went on a cruise over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Did you do some traveling for Christmas?
No, just hung out,
Okay.
just enjoyed the time with the kids.
Yeah.
I literally just put my phone down and said, all right, how do I spend as much time as with my kids as I can?
Good.
And, my son and I played video games. My other son and I played some basketball together at the local YMCA. My daughter and I always have a good time together. So it's just very nice time.
Stuff, yeah.
And Christmas is wonderful. I got to tell you, my favorite tradition, I have a couple favorite traditions from the holidays. And I would love to hear your guys' traditions too, for that matter, because we're talking about some kind of an interesting subject today. What would you be proud to fail at?
And I think Nick will have some stuff to say on this topic too.
Yeah, he's on.
Yeah, I love Nick's mindset. Nick, what's going on, bro? I hope you had a good Christmas. Cheap Freight Holler, what's up, man?
Yeah, absolutely.
T. Harris, what's going on, everyone?
The favorite holiday this is my favorite tradition. There's no gifts at all involved in the situation, but I truly love Christmas Eve. I go out with the boys, and we just have a good time. Right. We just just hang out. Don't talk about work. Don't talk about life. Just talk about our families, our health, where we're at in life. Yeah. It's one of my favorite things to do, and so excited. Chris White.
What's up, bro?
Here's a guy that's twinning.
Yes, this guy is literally twinning. He just had twins about 8 days ago. And man, I'm just so happy for him. What a beautiful Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just awesome.
Absolutely.
God's good.
Honestly. Nick starts us out. I love this because he's like, I failed 4 out of 5 goals this year. Yeah. And I think this is probably one of the most interesting things to look at is when you are setting your goals this year, when you're setting your stretch goals, your SMART goals, whatever they may be, right? I think this is something that, this show is something that, I can say that we wanted to start whether we failed at it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm proud of where we've gotten to.
Same. I remember our first show. I shit you not. Tire Killer was our only viewer for a couple weeks, and we grinded, man. And,
yeah.
There's some tough things about starting a podcast in this industry, and
absolutely.
But it's been beautiful. I love where we're at. We hit 700,000 views, all time. We're creeping on 1 million, and we got 300,000 to go.
Which is wild.
Almost at 6,000 subs. So thank you guys for tuning in and subscribing. We just appreciate you all. Yeah, and everyone tell Chris congrats because that's freaking awesome. 8 p.m. you go through nature and search in the sky.
For Santa. That's awesome. You know, we actually I think it's that government agency that tracks people. Is it NORDAC? Nordac, something like that. But they have a Santa tracker on there, and
awesome.
and the kids sit there and wait. I think it's fun. I achieved my 5th goal from 2023 this year, though. You know, and here's the question of the day that I think is probably the most interesting is, you know, how many goals did you set this year or last year, in Nick's particular case, where you got to your goal and it wasn't what you were hoping for? Has that happened to you?
It has, but you know what I find more interesting is that Nick remembered his goal from 2023, and he was still working on that.
I know.
You know, I personally, I'll be honest, Nick, if I set goals for the year, and let's just say I failed one of them or two of them, I probably left them off my goal list the next year, and I didn't continue to work on it. I don't know why, and maybe I need to do a little bit better on that after reading Nick's comment, but yeah, that has happened to me. What you were saying,
you're chasing, and this can happen in sales, where you're chasing a client, and you get set up, and as a carrier, you find out they don't even have lanes that work for you.
Right.
Or you've been chasing a client for 2 years, all to find out that there isn't really an opportunity.
You sound like you have some scars from this.
Woo! Man. And I think what's probably the most interesting thing is I think we put too much stock into the magical flip of a calendar.
I agree.
That's
well said, Nick. 100%.
I totally agree. And I thought that, you know, when I look at I'll give you just something personal more than anything, is, you know, I have an expectation of me looking like Thor, Chris Hemsworth, right? I want the beautiful pecs, I want the 6-pack, and in all reality, I gained 17 pounds in December. You know what I mean? And somewhere in there, there's disappointment. Disappointment is the gap between expectations and reality, right? And you're just sitting there going, okay, what am I going to set this year as a goal? What happens if I get there and I'm disappointed? However, I think that's something that's really important for people. Especially, I'm a pretty middle of the road guy. I don't get too excited. I don't get too down on myself.
Yep.
Is I'm always looking for the opportunity, even when I got to the end and there wasn't much there. Okay. Even when I get to the end of my goal and I'm like, you know what? Here's the opportunity. I've got to find it. The other day we had a call with that girl and mom that I enjoy talking to. It's fun to watch their journey. And I said, you know, even if you get rejected in those calls, I think it's important that you learn something from each call.
There's always something to be taken away from it.
Absolutely.
Always something to learn.
Absolutely. There's always a way to look at things and go, man, what's the positive here? Yeah. What did I learn? Or in any particular case, and Nick can probably attest to this, is that I don't think it's about actually gaining your goal. It's about who you become.
Right.
Trying to get to your goal.
Right. Well said. And Nick says, you know, success isn't a straight line. I think we all think it should be like that, and it's not. I agree, man.
Yeah.
What's up, Tire Killer? Merry ho-hos. What's going on, bro? How was your Christmas?
Tire Killer, what's going on? Good goals propel you forward to new goals. There's no end credits no matter what you achieve. Yeah. Exactly. It absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of my favorite quotes that you sent me a text last week, and it's kind of just, I've been thinking about it throughout, the week and the weekend. But and then this lady, Valerie Brown, posted something awesome on LinkedIn as well today. And I reposted it. You should go look. But she posted about all these famous people and kind of things they failed on, but then they grew up to just be impactful to everyone, around the world. Like, you got Albert Einstein, Oprah Winfrey, Walt Disney, MJ. Yeah. Like, all these people failed some point in their life, but they just never give up.
Yeah.
And I think that's super powerful to understand. It's like, if you're struggling with your business, your brokerage, like, don't give up.
Yeah.
You have to keep going. And one of the quotes that kind of caught my eye is, if you never failed, you never tried anything new.
I love that.
And I think if you don't try something new, you just don't grow as a person or an individual, or the people around you don't grow.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think the goal for me this year is to just transition my mind shift to, how do I look at each opportunity and look at it as what do I have instead of what do I not have? And I think, I did the same thing. I was out looking, I was hunting. This guy wrote this article the other day, and he goes, when I look back at 2024, it wasn't easy for me to focus on what did not happen. We did not achieve 500 coaching members, which you and I was hoping we'd get to 1 million views by the end of this year.
Right.
I did not have a rebound income year. This has been a challenging year for everyone watching, for all of us, right? We're all in there. I missed my goal in Ironman. We did not produce a 3rd weekly show. I thought this was interesting. He goes, but when I flip my script and I say, I grew as a person, our company grew, the audience grew, my relationship with my wife grew, my friendships with my children grew, I became wiser, I got more experience this year, I found out ways to continue to push my body. I love that mind shift and just flipping. So when you guys are thinking about your goals, your 2024, man, taking a moment to just go, all right, what worked? And how do I look at it as an opportunity, not as what I don't have, but what I do have?
Yeah, I love that.
I do too.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Now you saw that MC where I showed, that picture of the mountain that I climbed in a race that I failed. The moment though was majestic. The moment was the reward. I love how you think about things.
I do too.
You didn't think about how you failed. You thought about just the moment. The moments are great.
Yeah.
What did I accomplish? In pursuit of my faith.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this year because I think that, for me personally, obviously I've always struggled with I've struggled with my weight. I to a certain extent struggled with my health, but I did ask the gal. This is kind of interesting. I asked the gal the other day. You can just ask her at the front counter because we go to the same gym. I said, hey, can you tell me how many times I was here this year?
No, I've never thought about asking her.
I went to the Y 186 times this year. Not terrible,
no,
right? And although I'm up significantly this year, I gotta say that the focus is not going to change. I'm not swaying my depression. There's nothing going on there. I just need to get back on the train and be more disciplined. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think one of the most parts though is somewhere, at least for me, I know before I met you, I never had a job or a mentor that kind of said, hey Nate, sit down and think about your goals, whether it's personal, family related, work related. Right. Until I met you, and I love this because I didn't know where to start. I remember when you told me to start thinking about my goals, I was like, okay, I feel like I needed a template in front of me asking some questions to help me start thinking about goals and what I wanted in life. And I think a lot of people out there maybe are kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling with goals, I recommend obviously talking to Nick because he's really good with
Nick's
goal
incredible.
setting. But chat with us. I would love to send you our template that we use, and we save it for every year. You put it on your desk. I think goals are super important to think about. It may be weird to do if you're by yourself. Don't think of it as weird. Think of it as you're just trying to better yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to think about how to get your goals going, let us know. We'd love to help you.
Yeah.
We just love teaming up with people as well. But definitely hit up Nick. He's amazing. If you fell short this year, keep your head up. Be proud of yourself. You don't know the forces that were against you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or when it just turns. Mm-hmm. It's so interesting. You see a lot of people where you were just you felt like you were just 1 degree off, 10 degrees off, and then all of a sudden things just kind of start to go your way, right? And I think it's the consistency that's drove that one way. So I think consistency is a goal for me this year, not only personally but in a professional manner. How do we do more shows? I was surprised that we did so many shows this year. We're diligent. Wednesdays, Fridays. Show up, we're here. Except for New Year's and Christmas. Sorry, we missed you. We'll probably miss next week, too.
Yeah. Sometimes just not losing your shit is a win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, that's even with my kids. Poor Nick, we called him, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We called him. And he was like, yeah, I'm showering at a buddy's house right now.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, we've all been there.
Yeah.
You know, definitely. You know, and he wasn't losing his shit. He was pretty good spirited.
He still got on the show and just brought the house. I mean,
Yeah.
he's bringing the house again. That's what I love.
Exactly.
You know, as we head into 2025, Jared, what advice are you going to give to these brokers out there and carriers? You know, give us some advice going into the new year.
Yeah, I think this year is. I think you're going to see for me in predicting on how to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You really need to listen to yourself more this year. Mm-hmm. I think the people that we see are successful record themselves doing calls.
Yeah.
The people that we see successful this year have a mentor. Mm-hmm. You know, and they've got people that are helping them, guiding them, and they're willing to put themselves in vulnerable situations, right? I can tell you right now that gal had no interest in sending you and I a video of how she sounded because she was embarrassed, because she thought we were going to judge her. Mm-hmm. There's no judgment here. No. We're just trying to help you get there. So that vulnerability, that what are other people going to think of me? You know, this show is a perfect example. We didn't start this show at the very beginning because I was worried about what people would think of what I had to say.
We both thought that.
We're
like, no way.
And I'm still, honestly, some days I'm like, I don't know if this is good or
not. And your son thinks you're a full-time YouTuber.
He does think I'm a full-time YouTuber, which is wonderful. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, it's very entertaining.
Yeah. You're in the new place, Nick. I love to hear that, bro. Jerome Jones, what's up, bro? Tom Brady's going to coach exactly.
Yeah. I think that's important. And if you're looking for a coach, obviously the show's not about Nick here, but this guy will get you pointed in the right direction. His books will inspire you to get you to where you need to be. And just having someone to talk to, bounce ideas off. Mm-hmm. I think carriers are the loneliest people in the world. Mm-hmm. I also think freight agents are right up there with them. Yeah. And there's no transparency between the two. Mm-hmm. And so it's one of those things where, you know, they have to build a community. They have to be a part of a community. I think that's a third goal, is to join a better community. You know, get a coach. Start recording yourself. Be more transparent with yourself. A true leader, even if you're just leading yourself, identifies where they're at in that moment. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I think another thing to add to that is, if you're not on social media, maybe just try to spark a conversation with another driver or another broker somehow. You know, the beautiful thing about what we're doing on our podcast is we've met some awesome people. You know, one person that came to mind this morning because I was talking with him was Chris White. Yeah. You know, I remember the first day he said something in the chat, and I was like, you know, who is this cat? You know, where is he from? I wanted to know more about him. Yeah. So that's the beauty of kind of putting yourself out there. You get to meet new people. You know, he's been a good mentor to a lot of brokers. We sent brokers his way just to pick his brain. You know what I mean? So there's good people out there that are willing to help, like Chris and Nick. And my list goes on, honestly. Oh, yeah. We've met some amazing people this year.
Our relationship goals of being able to find the right people to help us to be able to...
Oh, gosh.
You know, our relationships this year have 100x'd.
Yes.
It's all because of this show.
No doubt, yeah.
They've 100x'd. We have some of the most amazing people that that we get to be a part of and watch their journey as well.
Yep. Yeah, everyone needs a wolf pack, Nick. I agree. Everyone needs a tribe, gym buddy, whatever. I agree.
Wolfpack.
You just can't be afraid to just ask questions.
Yeah.
And I was that person. I get it. You know, you didn't want to ask a dumb question, right? You got to get over that. Got to be vulnerable, like you said. That's how you grow.
It is how you grow. I think, we were talking last week, we talked about questions you should be asking yourself. Mm-hmm. And we do this thing with my family. We've done it for years where my kids and I write down predictions. We talk about, what we want to do. Yeah. And it was kind of fun. Casey and I, my wife and I, went through and we've had some ideas, some thoughts on, okay, what are some things that we should ask our kids to think about this year? And I got to read you off some of our things, because what we do every New Year's Eve as parents is we hang out with our family and we write down our predictions and we throw them in this coffee can that's above our fridge, and it just sits up there all year. And I think there's probably some a better way of doing it. But I think with your kids, I think it's okay to do that. They have it in their mind. Okay, this is who I was going to become, or this is what I'm going to do. But I think the questions you ask yourself when you're writing your goals, when you're thinking about 2025, I thought these were kind of fun to go through. I gotta read them to you if you don't mind.
Yes, please do.
Okay. And again, these are just, thoughts for my kids, so think about it for yourself. What do you think will be the biggest invention in 2025? Right? What's something cool you think your school will have next year? And my kids right now are all saying better food. They're hoping better food.
We've been saying that.
Yeah. We always talk about moisture out here. I said, do you think it'll snow more this year than it does in the last couple of years?
Yep.
What movie, game, or show do you think will be popular in 2025? My kids and I hit a streak on The Simpsons coming into the end of this year.
Yeah.
Who do you think will the next, football champion, volleyball champion? Obviously we're those football states. Do you think cars will fly in 2025? They kind of already are. Those drone things you can sit and see in, right? What's a fun trip or place you'd like to visit, right? How do you want to celebrate your birthday this year? I love that. What's on your docket for your birthday? I'm asking you. Front side, yeah. That's fair. We're going
Google front side, Scottsbluff, Nebraska. You'll find me there.
The valley.
What's up, Michael?
What's going on? It's good to see you guys.
I will be the #1 freight broker in the world in 2025
I love that.
Don't forget about us.
Yeah, exactly. Please.
We'll get you on the show.
So I think you just got to continue to push the questions you're asking yourself, and then the vision of being able to come with it, because I think it's important that you're okay with failing as you go toward your goals this year. Yeah. I think it's okay.
I agree.
And you got to drop the vulnerability. Just what people think of you, who cares? Let's go. Michael wants to become #1. How do you get there?
Right.
What do you need to do?
I already did. Yeah.
I can live with that.
I love that. Jared, I appreciate just the thoughts and tips and advice that you brought to the show. It didn't come overnight. What you built in your life, right? You've been through some things that maybe not a lot of people know about, but it just made you who you are today, which I love.
Yeah.
You're a great person, and I appreciate you coming on the show, and you do live cold calls for everyone.
Yep.
I don't know who else is doing that. I actually Googled a couple other people, but it'd be kind of cool to link up with them in 2025.
That would be cool. We should do a cold call battle.
Yeah, but from you doing cold calls,
I'd
just
lose.
or the freestyle. But yeah, from you doing cold calls to just providing value, I just can't thank you enough. Everyone, shout out Jared in the chat. He really has brought a lot of value in 2024. So I'm really excited for 2025.
Yeah.
I got some really good ideas for content for 2025. So for those of you, that are here every week, I appreciate you, and you're going to see some new content.
Yep.
If you have any other ideas, we are all open to it.
We're always open. Yeah, we're as far as goals for the show, I hope we hit 1 million views this year. That'll be insane.
I think one of our good goals should be doing a cold call show from like a truck stop, or maybe just talking to some drivers. We live in a small town, so it's kind of hard to get drivers' attention. They're obviously busy, but maybe we'll find some drivers around here to talk to and interview, and maybe we'll do some cold calls from another destination like a truck. I think it'd be cool.
I would love that. I would love that.
But anyways, Jared, send us off, man. I appreciate you again.
We're probably gonna miss next week, guys.
Yep.
So take some time. Think about, what your goals are for this year. Don't be afraid to fail at them. Don't be afraid to set a stretch goal. Something that scares you a little bit. Something that you're going, man, I don't know if I can get there. I didn't think we'd get to 700,000 views. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know if it was a goal of ours, but what a goal was to provide as much content and value into this show as possible.
Right.
And luckily that drove it to 700,000 views. So we hope you guys have an incredible New Year's. Drive safe for everyone that's out traveling this next holiday break as we go. And we will see you in 2025. If you guys want help with your goals, if you guys want help with your cold calls, anything that we can do to help you, send it to us an email, support@ecarriercheck.com. We want to help you guys see you be successful. So thank you for everyone.
Thank you, guys.